In 2001, John J. Lennon shot and killed a man in Brooklyn. He was convicted of second-degree murder and was given a sentence of 28 years to life. He's now incarcerated at Sing Sing Correctional Facility, about an hour north of the city. While in prison, Lennon took a creative writing class, and he discovered a passion for journalism. Today, he works as a contributing editor for Esquire magazine. He's written for The New Yorker and The Atlantic. He was recently named a Guggenheim Fellow. On today's show, he makes the case for more clemency for people who have changed since they were imprisoned. That's today's story of the day.
Support for Story of the Day comes from Long Run Wealth, an SEC-registered investment advisor in Lake Placid, providing comprehensive wealth management, retirement, and financial planning solutions. LongRunWealth.com. And the Devlin Inn and Suites, Lake Placid, welcoming families, athletes, and groups to the Olympic Village, offering Adirondack mountain views and dog-friendly accommodations. TheDevlinNY.com.
Hey, I'm David Sommerstein. It's Wednesday, May 20th. First up, public schools in New York would receive more funding under a budget bill released today. It's the first major bill that lawmakers are considering as part of the state budget, which is now 7 weeks late. All school districts would receive at least a 2% increase in foundation aid. The bill also includes a 5-year delay in the mandate for electric school buses. Assembly Speaker Carl Hastie says more funding could be on the way to help schools make that transition.
There's still money there. I don't know if we've nailed down that breakdown. We haven't nailed down that breakdown on the money, but there will be something to still help along with infrastructure and purchasing a bus.
The foundation aid formula would also see changes to account for students in foster care and those experiencing homelessness. North Star Health Alliance announced yesterday that it's shutting down its Watertown pediatric office. North Star Pediatrics will close effective June 30th. Providers there will shift to North Star's Carthage Pediatric Clinic and the North Country Family Health Center in Watertown. Families are also encouraged to utilize school-based health centers in their districts. The closure of North Star Pediatrics comes during the healthcare provider's months-long struggle to right its finances. The organization declared bankruptcy in February after its CEO quit and more than 120 workers were fired. North Star secured a $60 million loan from the state earlier this month, but it's still searching for a long-term healthcare partner. New York Governor Kathy Hochul is joining moderate Democrats in other states in securing new laws to protect immigrants. The New York Public News Network's Jimmy Vielkind has that story.
When Governor Hochul testified last year on Capitol Hill, she kept repeating one phrase.
We cooperate with ICE.
But this year, Hochul is touting a tentative deal to ban formal cooperation agreements and restrict when on-duty ICE agents can wear masks. Governors Mikey Sherrill in New Jersey and Wes Moore in Maryland are embracing similar legislation. It's a sign that the aggressive surge in Minnesota, resulting in 2 civilian deaths, has changed things. That's according to Muzaffar Chishti, a senior fellow at the Migration Policy Institute.
Everything that was considered unacceptable and sort of third rail in immigration politics suddenly became acceptable.
Hochul hopes to sign the new immigration laws as part of the state budget. In Albany, I'm Jimmy Vielkind for the New York Public News Network.
We've been reporting recently on New York's prison system, from the rising rates of drugs and violence behind bars to the staffing shortage, to the work being done by the state's prison oversight agency. Today, we're going to hear from someone who's been locked up in that system for more than 25 years. John J. Lennon is now a journalist working behind bars. He spoke with Emily Russell about what life has been like in prison over the last few years and why he thinks incarcerated people like him deserve a second chance.
I think the last few years in New York have just been tough. First we had COVID, then there's the understaffing. I think understaffing had been creeping up for its own reasons, and then this bill that was passed, the HALT law, which limited solitary for people in prison, for good reason, but that was sort of a failed policy in my opinion because it was not passed in tandem with a good time law. So New York, unfortunately, does not have any opportunities for people who are serving long sentences, like myself, who've gotten their acts together to be acknowledged or to earn any time off their sentence. So when you essentially The halt law is well-intentioned. We all know about the reports from inhumane to sort of keep people in solitary for more than 14 days. But when you don't dangle a carrot in front of people that are actually behaving, it kind of feels like only bad behavior is being rewarded, and that's problematic.
Why is the hope of a second chance or clemency so important to someone behind bars?
Look, I think the hope of clemency is so important because it's the only way out. But that's a little unfair, right? You're asking a politician to put her whole reputation on the line. We're talking about Kathy Hochul here, the governor, to put her whole reputation on the line. For what? For a guy like me who got his act together and became a journalist, and then for my peers who've earned master's degrees and have gotten their acts together, and we just expect her to do that? That's a little unfair, right? She's running for re-election and she's not doing it. That's just how politics works. We get that. Why don't the lawmakers pass something? There's a Second Look Act that's being proposed, supported by Rowan Wilson. Like, why don't we get a second chance like people in the feds? The person who's in the feds get second chances. Gangsters, organized crime figures get second chances because of the First Step Act. And they get the second chance because Donald Trump signed the bill. I mean, it's just a testament to just how out of whack Democrats are, who have the majority, by the way, in New York.
Public opinion has changed over people who are convicted on drug charges in New York. We've seen those policies change, but do you feel like there's still a lot of work to be done, or what would you just say to criticism like someone who committed a crime 25 years ago of murder doesn't deserve a second chance?
Look, what I would say to that person is I disagree. I think in the Western world and in Europe, we're always like sort of looking to Europe. This nation did start from people that were sort of coming over on the boat, and many of them, had some cases going on in England. They got jammed up, but we started this country on some folks that were given a second chance, and so I think this whole nation was built on second chances. And I mean, the murder rates are much lower today. I mean, we're much safer country. Like, people in Europe, like in all those countries, like, they don't even serve more than 20 years. Look, I take full responsibility for the crime I committed. I killed a man. And I was a young man myself at the time. I was involved in that lifestyle. It was a disgusting lifestyle, and I felt remorse through my writing and through trying to sort of find myself in here. I mean, what's it all about? I would hope people would want that for somebody, but to your point, some people don't. I mean, I don't really know what to say to that.
Why do you think you deserve clemency?
I don't know if I use the word deserve. I think mercy is more about the person that's giving it, than it is about the person that thinks that they may be a good candidate for it. If I am a good candidate, I would say it's this idea that I came to prison. I killed a man in furtherance of a criminal career. Like, I was a career criminal. I was a drug dealer, and it was these ideals of the subculture where you turn everything on its head, and we think we're big shots, and it's just this disgusting lifestyle. And many people in state prison have lived this same lifestyle. And if you could come in here and rediscover yourself, today I'm a journalist, and I earn income. I have a full career. I have respect for my colleagues. I respect my colleagues. That is the world in which I will live. And I have a full-blown career from prison, right? So I'm not waiting for somebody to give me grace to show you who I am. I do it every day. I mean, they'll figure that out up in Albany when they figure it out. But it is a little tough, though. I will say this. It is a little tough. When I had a federal judge that said if I was in the feds under that Trump law, he would let me go. So what's it all about? It's all arbitrary.
How do you cope with that?
Do the work. You do the work. It's a constant cognitive dissonance where I do this work in these places, and you're still counted. You still live this life in here of this kind of irrelevance, but then you're also it's hard to reconcile. It really is, but it's also a test of humility too. And I've always needed some more of that.
You have 1 minute left.
I mean, it's kind of corny. Like, you just do the work, and that's how I get through. I mean, I'm lucky I could get up every day and I have like some purpose, and I could work on a deadline. I mean, not many people in prison can do that. So there's a lot of gratitude I have too.
That was John J. Lennon, who's incarcerated at Sing Sing Correctional Facility, speaking with Emily Russell. We have more news all the time on our website, ncpr.org. Music today by Oscar Sarmiento of Potsdam and Hart, Cox, and Legros of Malone. I'm David Summerstein, North Country Public Radio.